I'm Chef Kevin Reading of Abbott's Grill, and welcome to Flavor, a show based on interesting people and places of the Chesapeake region. Stay tuned, and hopefully we'll learn something together. Hi, I'm Chef Kevin Reading from Abbott's Grill, and welcome to Flavor. Today we're taking a trip to Milford, Delaware, to Mule Run Farms. We're going to meet Kenny Blessings and see what makes him so interesting.
When Abbott's Grill throws a party, you know it has to be good. From small business lunches and cocktail parties to full-service wedding receptions and off-site catering, Abbott's Grill makes planning simple and stress-free.
We take care of every detail so you can enjoy your event.
Abbott's Grill has catering options for every budget. Call 302-491-6736 or contact Laura Burton at abbottsgrilldE.com. Be a guest at your own party with Abbott's Grill Private Dining and Catering.
Hi, welcome back. I want to introduce to you Sherry and Kenny Blessings of Mule Run Farms. How'd this come about?
Well, this has been in the back of my mind for quite a few years. We've been selling freezer beef to family and friends, and they were encouraging me to take it a step further. So after the death of my dad back in 2013, with diminishing land acres, I needed to do something so I could stay in production agriculture. I love working with the beef cattle, so this was a way to enhance my product. So we broke ground April of 2015, and then from that point on, it was game on.
Yeah.
We opened up end of October of 2015. We just celebrated our first year a couple of months ago, and the response has been very favorable.
Yeah.
And I'm very optimistic about the decision that I made and continuing forward.
I met your brother about 4 or 5 years ago. We were talking off camera, and he has the tilapia farm, so it's kind of in your genes, right?
Right.
The family.
We, when my dad was on the Southern States Board to Richmond, and they were experimenting with aquaculture, and tilapia come to the forefront. So Dad put his money where his mouth was and opened up that facility. It's about the only one of its kind in this region. I think you got to go to North Carolina to find something similar.
Yeah.
But no, my brother owns and operates that with his own farming endeavors. So at one time, we were truly a surf and turf outfit.
And you raise the goats, correct? And the mule.
Yes.
So why don't you tell me, Sherry, I heard you're the inspiration to the name. So how did that come about?
Well, he bought me the mule for my 40th birthday.
Right.
And then my son got me into the goats through 4-H. Mom fell in love. So with showing the goats, we had to have a farm name. Everybody had a little name out for their animal. So I wanted something with mule because he bought me.
Right. It just kind of happened, right?
Yeah. So we were riding around one day with some friends, and I didn't want mule farms. I didn't want mule acres, and we come up with Mule Run.
Yeah.
So we kept that going with this.
Right.
Mule Run Meats, Mule Run Farms.
Well, it's very catchy. And in your logo, everything works well. So what makes your beef so special?
Oh, it's not any one thing, but collectively, the aging.
Okay.
We have a real good relationship with Sellersville Meat Locker. So I can take the animals over there, they're processed, and they're aged for 2 weeks. And then it also has a USDA inspector there and labeled as such. So with the genetics in the cattle, and they're grain-fed, finished to a high choice, and with their expertise in cutting meat and presenting it in a way to sell it retail in here, with the aging process. And I don't know, priced reasonably,
Price to move.
priced to move.
In the store here, you actually carry things from TA Farms and some other farms, right?
Right. We're trying to promote, if I'm not raising it myself, I'm trying to promote Delaware agriculture as best I can. So there's about 5 different farms represented in here. The Sam Yoder Farms with the free-range eggs, TA Farms with their turkey products, Langfelder Farms through Sudlersville with the pork products, of course Mule Run with the beef and the goat. And in the summertime, when we have vegetables, it's Delaware-grown vegetables that we're getting from area producers to complement what we have to offer. There's a lady from Milton that does the backyard jams and jellies.
Yeah.
So she goes to the area orchards. It's native Delaware
I see her at Pfeiffer's, and then I'll see her back at Milton Farmers Markets, and she's getting bigger and bigger.
So we're real pleased to be able to offer Delaware at its finest.
Yeah.
And we're still tinkering with new ideas. There's another Milford resident that has this artisan cheeses, and in April we're going to try those items.
Okay. Are they doing it? Do they only do it in the certain times of year?
Well, she's going to start in April, and then because I believe these cheeses are imported.
Okay.
It's going against the theme of the store, but it's something unique.
Okay, gotcha.
And that's kind of what I'm after is uniqueness.
Yeah.
So I think that might complement. But anything's on the table. Let me part with this. I've never done anything like this in my life. So I almost feel like a fish out of water sometimes. And so we're still experimenting. We're learning. It's a work in progress.
Well, I think when you start with a quality product, that's the number one thing. You know, and then it's you know, the word will get out in things like this. And
I didn't really know how to approach opening up the business. So we started notifying family and friends. And we had some flyers placed around area businesses and a couple of places like factories and stuff. And as they came in, the client base did the advertising for us. And you can't buy that kind of advertising because if they liked it, they came back. And we're still seeing an influx of new people that are coming in based on word of mouth from family and friends.
Now, can people place orders? Like you have a number of things that are, you have, you know, in freezer things that, but if somebody wanted to buy, you know, fresh Delmonico's or when you go to cutting, can they plan that ahead?
Yes, if they have a particular requirement and they'll give me enough notice, whether it's number of steaks, thickness of steaks, especially around the holidays, for example, rib roast. People want 2, 3, 4 rib roast. So I start about a couple of months ahead of time, taking part of the animal and stockpiling these particular cuts. But we're constantly getting requests for, say, 1.5 inch rib eyes or filet mignons. They want them 2 inches, whatever it may be. We do our best to honor whatever the request is for whatever the product is.
Now, your hours of operation mainly are the weekends, right?
Yes.
As far as your open hours here at the shop.
Friday, Saturday, and Monday, 12 to 6.
Okay.
So.
And I was here last Saturday, and you were pretty busy. So you open. We're here before the opening, but hopefully you'll be nice and busy again today.
But Friday is when we start, and whatever fresh items we have are in that unit there.
We're going to do a chef series together with. We did one recently with Hari Cameron, who's an extraordinary chef out of Rehoboth, and we're going to do our second one in March. So hopefully people will make their reservations in March and get to meet you guys personally. Right? I think it's March 8th is what we're shooting for. Well, very good. Well, I appreciate you taking some time out with us today and walking us through. When I get back to the restaurant, I'm going to grab some of your goat from you. I love goat. And we're going to do a curried goat stew, like a Caribbean style. So I appreciate you taking the time, and I hope you much success. And we'll look forward to seeing you on the 8th of March at our dinner.
Thank you very kindly.
And thank you, Sherry.
Thank you.
Get homegrown produce packed at the peak of freshness with Pfeiffer's Delmarva Box CSA program. Become a member today at PfeifferOrchards.com. Pick from 9 or 18 weeks of fresh fruits and vegetables. Select from local meats, eggs, and cheeses, and your bountiful box of Delmarva fresh produce will be packed and ready for pickup at a location near you. Pfeiffer's Delmarva Box CSA program is the fresh, fun way to feed your family. Become a member today at PfeifferOrchards.com.
When Abbott's Grill throws a party, you know it has to be good. From small business lunches and cocktail parties to full-service wedding receptions and off-site catering, Abbott's Grill makes planning simple and stress-free.
We take care of every detail so you can enjoy your event.
Abbott's Grill has catering options for every budget. Call 302-491-6736 or contact Laura Burton at abbottsgrilldE.com. Be a guest at your own party with Abbott's Grill Private Dining and Catering.
Hey, Eric here. Don't miss a thing at Mississippian River Brewing, the world's premier craft brewery located in Milford, Delaware. Stop on by for a sample, or a six-pack, or a growler, or if you just want to stop by and have a pint. Check us out at MississippianRiverBrewing.com.
First Date Dance Academy. Sign up now.
Hi, welcome to Mississippian Fitness. Everything from step mills to treadmills, arc trainers, ellipticals, upright bikes, recumbent bikes, and even a couple of rowers. At Mississippian Fitness, we have over 23 classes on the schedule every week, from body pumps, kickboxing, to boot camps, spin classes. We do small group training. We have personal training. We even offer judo jiu-jitsu program. We have a little bit of everything for everybody.
Welcome back. We had a great visit with Kenny and Sherry, and boy, it was a lot of fun for us. And we ended up getting a little goat from today, and it was funny, they were having a little dueling. Sherry's all about the goat, and Kenny's all about the steak. What I have here is some of the goat that they have. I have about 5 pounds here, and we're going to do a kind of a Caribbean or Jamaican style goat. We're going to serve that over a gingered style rice. I'm using a little basmati rice. So I'm going to do a little bit of ginger and onion to get it started. And this is going to take about 20 minutes, so I want to go ahead and get this done first. We're just going to cut a little like that. I'll cut that down here in a second. I'm also going to add my goat here. We're going to do a quick marinade on the goat. We're going to hit this. I have a little tiny bit of sesame oil here. Just going to touch it with a touch of sesame oil. Little touch of garlic. A little bit of red pepper flake. Now this is going to be done 24 hours in advance to really enhance the flavor. Then we're going to take and brown the meat. So I got a little dry oregano. I have about 2 or 3 tablespoons of curry. It's a dry curry. I'm going to use maybe a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of kosher salt, not too much of kosher salt because I'm going to add a little bit of soy in here to let that all marinate together. And I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of fresh ginger to it as well. Have a little microplane here. So we got a little fresh ginger there. And then when we do our saute, I'll add a little bit more to that as well. So see if we can get that all stirred around. We'll get that marinating for a few moments while we get our rice started. Smells great. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get our ginger cut down. This is going to be for our rice. I also thought what would be nice is if I had pigeon peas. I couldn't locate them today, but that would have been a nice touch as well. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of onion to get that started. And in our little saute pan, add about a tablespoon of oil, so regular blended oil there. Warm that up. I've had this already started, the pan was already a little warm already. And I'm going to go ahead and add our aromatics in here and add just a little teaspoon of garlic to that as well. Not even a teaspoon, maybe a quarter teaspoon. So I'm going to let that sweat here for just a second while I heat up the pan here. Oh, that pan's already nice and hot. So while that's heating up, I'm going to add a little bit of oil to here. And we want to brown this meat, so we're looking for a pretty high heat on this one to get that going. So this is called the peel-off method. And so what we're doing is we're actually toasting the aromatics in first. If you wanted to, you can actually add, if you were adding thyme or anything like that, we could put that in there to kind of get the oils to start working on it. I put a couple bay leaves in there. And then at this time, I'm going to add a quart of basmati rice. I'm going to add a little bit of salt, kosher salt and pepper. A little pepper. And I'm going to go ahead and start toasting the rice. The idea of toasting it with the oil is going to start letting the rice start to absorb. And when you add the stock in it, it's already got a nice coating around it with flavor. So you can see it toasting up really evenly coated. I have my hot stock here. I'm putting in, normally they tell you 2 to 1. What I'm doing right here is about 1 3/4 to 1. So I have just shy of 2 quarts of liquid here. I'm going to incorporate that. Just keep it at a fairly high heat, and as soon as I bring it to a simmer here, we're going to turn it down. I'm sorry, as soon as it comes to a boil, I'm going to bring it down to a simmer. And it should be about 15 to 20 minutes. So my other pot over here is going pretty hot, so I'm going to go ahead and add my goat right into that pot. The idea is we're trying to get a nice browning without burning the bottom. Smells incredible. The soy and the curry are kind of taking the main direction here. I see my rice is boiling, so I'm going to bring it down to a nice simmer. And like I said, about 15 or 20 minutes there. I'm going to turn this down to a simmer, like a little low heat now. So I'm going to go ahead and use the other half of this onion. I have little red bell pepper already cut up. I'm going to go with a little bit more ginger and garlic. The idea of this dish is we're trying to have a little heat, but we're not trying to make it so hot that, that it's a spice dish. Got 1 jalapeno. It's actually just going to use a half one because I do have a little red pepper flake in when we did the marinade. So I'm going to go ahead and break this down. Do a little mince on that. I'm going to do a medium to small dice on a nice jumbo carrot here. And what I like to do is I like to kind of cut the carrot in half. And I take out a little bit, just for more uniform cuts, I take the ends off of the carrot here. And then as I can do whatever size you want here, but it allows me to have a little bit more control over the cuts. So let's go back over here to our meat. Looks like it's browning pretty nicely. And for just a moment, I'm going to go ahead and invert it on the pan top over here. Put a touch of garlic. I'm going to put my onions in here with a little bit of the ginger. And we're going to pick up the heat again, start working this in. Go ahead and add our red bell peppers. Get the rest of our jalapeno. Now you remember, a lot of the marinade, like a lot of the flavors already into the goat here, has all the curries and the red pepper flake and the soy sauce. So that's got a lot of nice flavor to it. So I sweat that down nicely. I'm going to go ahead and add about 4 cups of coconut milk. And I might add a little bit of stock to this as well, maybe probably a half a quart of chicken stock. Going to go ahead and add our carrots. And really this dish, once we get it going, I probably want to cook it for about nice and slow for about an hour to allow some of the stew meat to break down, because a lot of it just needs a little time to go ahead and do its thing. So I'm going to go ahead and add all this back. Going to go ahead and add a little bit of fresh basil. Got a little chive. Sitting them out at room temperature for a little bit. They got a little wilted, but we're going to go ahead and just stew them. Also have a little black garlic here. This is fermented black garlic. I'm going to take 2 or 3 of the cloves and just add them in there. Has a real umami flavor. If you've ever had black beans or the fermented black beans, that's the flavor that's going to impart. The rice is just getting about ready. So this is where at this point here, what I do with the rice, I'll uncover it, and you see it's taken up the liquid. I kind of tilt it to the side to make sure there's no liquid going. It's just a tiny bit of liquid left. So at this point, what I do is I turn off the heat, and I just leave it covered. So I'm going to leave it for about 5 minutes, and then at that point, I'll either lay it out if I'm using it later, or put it in a bowl, maybe pad some butter on it, or maybe some stew, maybe some goat stew.
A mastered of farm-to-table cuisine, an award-winning duo of local ingredient brewing join forces to create a culinary experience made from the best that Delaware has to offer. Brickworks Brewing and Eats in Smyrna, Delaware, a made-from-scratch fusion of Delaware's best, like glazed baby back ribs and apple jalapeno slaw, paired with drop trowel, Brickworks exclusive unfiltered IPA. Brickworks Brewing and Eats in Smyrna, Delaware, made from scratch from plate to glass.
Hi, welcome to Miss Billion Fitness. Everything from step mills to treadmills, arc trainers, ellipticals, upright bikes, recumbent bikes, and even a couple of rowers. At Miss Billion Fitness, we have over 23 classes on the schedule every week, from body pump to kickboxing to boot camps, spin classes. We do small group training. We have personal training. We even offer judo jiu-jitsu program. We have a little bit of everything for everybody.
Get homegrown produce packed at the peak of freshness with Pfeiffer's Delmarva Box CSA program. Become a member today at PfeifferOrchards.com. Pick from 9 or 18 weeks of fresh fruits and vegetables. Select from local meats, eggs, and cheeses, and your bountiful box of Delmarva Fresh produce will be packed and ready for pickup at a location near you. Pfeiffer's Delmarva Box CSA program is the fresh, fun way to feed your family. Become a member today at PfeifferOrchards.com.
When Abbott's Grill throws a party, you know it has to be good. From small business lunches and cocktail parties to full-service wedding receptions and off-site catering, Abbott's Grill makes planning simple and stress-free.
We take care of every detail so you can enjoy your event.
Abbott's Grill has catering options for every budget. Call 302-491-6736 or contact Laura Burton at abbottsgrilldE.com. Be a guest at your own party with Abbott's Grill Private Dining and Catering.
Hi there, welcome back. Our rice is about done. The curried goat has been braising for about an hour. And we're gonna go ahead and plate this right now. And I brought my official taster, my partner Laura Burton here. So she'll be able to give me the honest feedback here, right? So I did the peel off method with the rice. So we're just gonna go ahead and do a couple of these right in the middle.
Okay, just white rice.
Basmati. Basmati rice done with ginger and coconut milk.
Wow.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and add the curry goats, nice and thick, right over the top. Won't do too much. Then I have a little chiffonade, or it's not chiffonade yet, but I'm going to chiffonade the basil. Just put it all together, one on top of the other. Just roll that baby up, real tight. Add that on top of that. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of peanut just on there for texture. So a little peanut on top. And you're going to feel like you're in Jamaica. Go ahead. We don't serve cold food here. Good flavors? Sherry, you'll be proud.
It's delicious. Absolutely.
I'm Chef Kevin Reading, Laura Burton, and we'll see you next week. I'm Chef Kevin Reading of Abbott's Grill, and welcome to Flavor, a show based on interesting people and places of the Chesapeake region. Stay tuned, and hopefully we'll learn something together.